Hey guys, happy Friday and welcome back to another Makeup and Bad Movies. I know I skipped like 2 weeks or so. I kind of explain why in next week's vlog. If it goes up, I don't know, whatever. Regardless, I just took a break. I was feeling a little burnt out. The videos are very time consuming. Blah 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 blah. Let's move on. So a couple of disclaimers before we start. One, I apologize if you can hear my cat. Normally I would put them in the bedroom, but my boyfriend is sleeping, even though I now realize that because I'm recording, I'll probably wake him up anyway. Two, my uterus is currently trying to kill me. So if you get a little, excuse me, you gotta go. Hold on, I gotta put them up because nah, they being real disrespectful. They were quiet. Come on. Come on. You gonna hang out with your daddy. Say hi. What was I saying? Second, my uterus is killing me from the inside out. I feel like I had another disclaimer. Whatever. Regardless, today we're gonna be talking about Tall Girl. Which is this movie is really it's not a good movie. Originally I had wanted to do The Kissing Booth because I have heard so many like atrocious things about The Kissing Booth, but I literally watched 5 minutes of this movie and said I couldn't do it. Like I just was like, I can't. I really tried. It is just so bad. It's so bad. I feel like for that reason I should muscle through and finish it, because I've never not been able to finish a movie because it was so bad. Like I watched Birdemic. Birdemic is is now my rating scale. But I couldn't finish it. So instead we're watching Tall Girl. And this is an hour and a half of privileged nonsense. And it's not funny. I'm not sure who it's supposed to be funny to, because they have the nerve to call it social comedy, but it's not funny. It's literally just like you finish it and you're like, okay, all right. I did not once feel sympathetic for the main character. Not once did I laugh with the main character. Nothing. But without further ado, even though I spent most of this intro ripping on another movie, let's talk about Tall Girl. Okay, so, my other disclaimer is that we're getting simple makeup today because I am getting ready for work, actually, so. Yeah, so the movie Tall Girl is centered around our main character, Jody, who has faced hardships her entire life due to the fact that she is 6 feet tall. So the movie starts and Jody is kind of like flirting. This guy is kind of like flirting with Jody from like across the table at the library and stuff. And he's about to ask her out, and then she stands up and he immediately like kind of gets scared and runs away. So we're quickly introduced to how Jody's life is just so hard because she's 6 feet tall. We kind of get this whole soliloquy, monologue, whatever, about how she's been tormented all her life, and like people always ask her how's the weather up there. And now that I think about it, was this movie supposed to be satire? No, it wasn't. It really was trying to be genuinely funny and not in a satire way, and it failed. Wanted to give it the benefit of doubt for a second, but no. Anyway, they always ask her how's the weather up there, blah blah blah. Make fun of her for being tall. And I'm just gonna quickly say that like 6 feet tall is not that tall. I am 5'8", 5'9". And I actually know, like, I kind of grew up in that. I'm tall for a girl, so I did get, not really picked on for my height, more so my size in general, but I do know what it feels like to kind of grow up tall, albeit not as tall as 6 feet tall, but like, I don't know. I'm really not feeling the vibe. My aunt is 6'2", and I don't feel like she ever has explained to me any of those issues. I think the hardest thing about being a tall woman is dating, which did kind of come up in this movie, which I think they touched on well, but like the other parts, these kids have been going to school with you since what? Probably elementary school. There's no way in high school they're still asking you, how's the weather there? Like, I feel like by now, it's just kind of like old news. Like, nobody cares anymore. I don't know if anyone else high school was like that, but like, I feel like by the time we got to high school, like outright teasing and bullying kind of died down a lot. And people just didn't care. Like, I don't know. I feel like movies kind of portray that wrong in a sense, because I'm just like, I feel like the bullying, outright bullying, stopped by the time we got to high school. But anyway, back to Jodie. It is kind of messed up though, because her parents actually are probably the root of her issue with her being tall, now that I think about it, because her dad literally wanted to put her on this medication when she was young to stunt her growth that would literally have caused her to be infertile. Could have caused her to be infertile, but like, her parents definitely make it more of a big deal than it is, which is probably where her issues stem from. But yeah, anyway, so the kids make fun of her. They call her LeBron James. They say, how's the weather up there? And then then she says this.
You think your life is hard? I'm a high school junior wearing size 13 Nikes. Men's size 13 Nikes. Beat that.
You think your life is hard? Yeah, actually, I was fat and black in high school, so I would say we had two different struggles, Jodie. I'm not gonna lie to you. Can't sympathize with you there. Jodie's best friend is this nameless black girl. I really don't think they ever said her name throughout the entire movie. I don't know her name. And she's like quirky, and she talks in Pinterest quotes and pep talks and stuff like that. Surprising, if we're being honest here, if anyone should be getting made fun of, it's Jodie's best friend, because she literally dances down the hallway. I feel like that would have been grounds to get laughed at. If we're being honest here, if we're being fair, I feel like Jodie's friend would have been more likely to get teased than Jodie. But yeah, she talks in pep talks all the time. One day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna love all 72 inches of you, or some shit like that. Like, girl. So her other friend is Jack Dunkelman. He is like half her size, and he is in love with her, short king. And he's been in love with her since, I don't know, forever, which is kind of cute actually. But of course, Jodie doesn't like him because he's not tall enough, which is fair. I feel like when you get older, as a semi-tall girl, I feel like when you get older, that like, I need my guy to be towering over me kind of simmers down. But in high school, it's like a really big deal. Like, I need my guy to be taller than me. But then once you get older, it kind of simmers down. I think probably because you're like, not really getting a lot of options here. Can't really afford to be too choosy about that height. So Jodie's, complaining about the dating life, how she'll never be able to date anyone because she's taller than all the guys in her school, which is actually insane to me. Like, there's no basketball team. You mean to tell me not a single guy is 6 foot? Because I'm pretty sure like 6 foot is close to the average for men, is it not? Like that 5'10" to 6 foot range. Is that not the average? You telling me nobody at your high school is 6 foot besides you? 6 foot isn't even that tall, bro. That's the thing I'm really stuck on. 6 foot is not that tall. But all that's about to change because there's a Swedish exchange student. And Jodie is immediately interested in the Swedish exchange student just off the basis that he's tall, which, same girl, been there. But yeah, so Jodie's interested in him right off the bat, simply because he's tall, but so is everybody else because he's a new exchange student. And that includes popular mean girl, Kimmy. And she kind of gets to him first, naturally, because she's popular. So Jodie's all distraught. She goes to her older sister, who's like a pageant girl, and asks her for help getting his attention. But then when the sister's like, finds out that he's an exchange student, she's like, you'd have to go all the way. Like, this is not a simple task anymore, and that kind of scares Jodie off for a little bit. The Swedish guy's name is Stig, by the way, and he lives with the best friend, Dunkelman. The mom is hosting him, I guess, which is very upsetting to Dunkelman naturally because this is his competition. So Kimmy and Stig quickly end up becoming a thing. Like I said, Kimmy kind of got to him first, scared everyone else because she's the mean, popular girl. She's a very toothless, mean girl. I feel like these teen movies never kind of get it right how mean teenage girls can be. They never get it right. And she's not scary to me. But once again, this school's running joke is, what's the weather up there? So I'm not expecting much from these people. Jodie does end up, once she sees that Kimmy and Stig are like really becoming a thing, she goes back to her sister and like, no, I want the full makeover. And you know, at the end of the night, after the whole makeover scene, whatever, we didn't really get to see the results, but the whole makeover, the whole shopping thing, she gets a phone call from Stig, but really it was Kimmy and this other boy who prank called her and pretended. So naturally she's very upset and she just kind of gives up on the whole thing. But she decides not to go through with it, and it really brought her down. I guess it's because Kimmy said something like, you'll always be the tall girl, not the pretty girl, as if those things are mutually exclusive. You can be tall and pretty, but Stig is trying to avoid, not Stig, Jodie is trying to avoid running into her bully. She ducked into this room and she finds Stig in there, and he's trying to play the piano, and they kind of have this whole bonding moment because Jodie's really good at the piano because she has big hands or whatever. And they have this whole bonding moment that Kimmy interrupts. When she gets home, her dad is hosting this club meeting for tall people, I guess because they needed to traumatize her further. So she gets home and there's all these tall people in her living room because they're in a tall club. And I guess her parents thought it would like help her feel better about being tall, but honestly, you're literally just traumatizing the girl in her own home. Like, she gotta come from school dealing with people making fun of her, and then she come home and here it is, her height topic of discussion all over again. Stig ends up calling her for real that night, and she gets herself all dolled up and she goes over and they watch a movie, but Dunkelman crashes it because he's a hater, and kind of crashes their thing. But then on the train ride, I don't know why they were on a train of some sort, but also I don't know New Orleans that well, maybe that's normal. They're on some kind of trolley train thing. They share a kiss, which is a big deal because, you know, Stig is supposed to be in a relationship. There's like a lot of random filler in this movie, like things that really didn't need to, like really just didn't push the movie along, just took up space. This movie could have easily been like 45 minutes. But we had like a random dance scene from a dance team just there. No transition, no explanation. We had Dunkelman do a whole bunch of impressions of Gordon Ramsay and Kevin Hart. All right, anyway, after the kiss, the whole thing, Jodie and Stig decide to, Jodie and Stig decide to just be friends, since Stig is currently in that relationship with Kimmy. But then he sees her kissing another dude when they're on like this weird triple date thing, which was clearly bad filler. And he decides that he really likes her and he's gonna break up with Kimmy to be with her. So at the same time that like they're having this conversation, he's like, I'm gonna break up with Kimmy. She's like, do you wanna come with me to my sister's pageant tonight? They agree to go to the pageant, and then they're gonna go to Dunkelman's party afterwards. But Stig ends up standing her up. She goes to Dunkelman's party to confront him about like why he stood her up. And there she's like, you know what? I see it now. Like, you like being popular. You really enjoy this and you like it more than you like me. And she leaves after that. So then the next day, Dunkelman shows up at her house and he gives her this gift, which is like these like heels, because she can't buy heels in her size because she wears a size 13 men's. And she also finds out later that day that Dunkelman kind of defended her honor, and that's how he got that black eye. And she kind of has this epiphany after seeing the video of the fight at the party, of like Steve kind of like joking about how he was playing a prank on her, whatever. And she ends up going to homecoming in this god ugly blue suit with this pirate looking neck. Oh my god. That is the worst outfit I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, girl, why couldn't you love yourself in something cuter? Because that shit was so ugly. It was ugly. The color was ugly. The cut was ugly. The neck was ugly. Everything was ugly. And the heels didn't match. Oh. That just had me so hot. She gives this whole speech at homecoming, which I think is weird and very unlike high school. But she gives this whole speech at homecoming about how she's more than her height and she's gonna start embracing herself, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? I don't know why it's a theme in movies for people to give speeches at dances. Nobody cares, baby. Like, nobody cares, but they all cheered at the end. They definitely would have been laughing at her. Like, it would have been dead silent before they all erupted in laughter. All right, so after the whole speech, Steve kind of chases her down as she's leaving the dance, and he apologizes and he tells her how he broke up with Kimmy and that he wants to like really start over with her, and she's like no, which I love that for her. He did not deserve you, baby, just because he's tall. Proud of you. And then the movie ends with Dunkelman and Jodie sharing a kiss, because I guess begging will get you somewhere. But yeah, no, it was cute. They shared a kiss. Nice, love that for them. I wouldn't do personally. He was way too short for me. But anyway, that's the movie. It was an hour and a half of nonsense that could have been 45 minutes long, and it wasn't funny at all. And it wasn't even good enough to be satire, I feel like. So that's the movie. I have no thoughts because this movie was dumb. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.